Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bowl with Value. I'm Valerie Bercier, and this week we're going to do another video within the drills and skills section of the channel, and it's going to be on surface. So we're going to put some surface on some bowling balls. Stick around, see how they respond.
This brings up by 12. Pass it. Really good look.
All right, we are back at Sherman Bowling Center, not on lane 1 and 2. Lanes 1 and 2, we're in the middle, and I've got a burnt up house shot here. It's really not that burnt up in my opinion. I got warmed up on it. So I'm gonna start with the two bowling balls that I have today are the Ebonite Emerge Hybrid. Typical layout, I've got the exact same layout on that as I do the Deviate Troublemaker. They're both hybrids. The Troublemaker is a symmetric, and I do have the numbers here. I took some notes this time. It 2.520 for 14 pounds, that's what I throw, is the RG, and the differential is 043. Whereas the Emerge Hybrid is 2.537, so a little higher RG and then also higher differential at 0.054. And it's also asymmetric. So I have a symmetric hybrid and an asymmetric hybrid. The surface out of the box are completely different. The Troublemaker has a 500, 2000. That's it. And then the Emerge is 500, 1000, 1500 compound. So visibly, the Emerge is shinier. So I'm just going to start with this one, and then what we're going to do is go from high, or not high surface, but like higher grit, 4000, all the way down to lower grit, 500, and see how they both take to those surface adjustments. I'm not that warmed up, so I'm just going to throw a shot, see what this does, and try to hit the pocket and then make the surface adjustments. Okay, honestly not a great shot. I felt very, very cold. I did a couple things with the setup in between warming up and starting to record. The ball went pretty straight. I did spin it. Gosh, I'm like, I really need to start to work on the drills, keep doing the drills that I mentioned in previous videos. So I'm going to see if that is accurate, where that was. And I stood on 20 and I was looking at like, I don't know, 13, 14. I'm gonna try that again. I hit 16 and still pretty good. Okay, fine. I will take it. In practice, this one hooked a little bit more. It does have a little more surface on it. I think I probably hit it fresh with a fresh 2000 while I was in competition not that long ago. So I'm gonna hit both balls with 4000 after I throw this shot. I'm gonna get lined up. Okay, I'm gonna move two left of my feet off of that shot just because I don't want to waste a shot in comparison. Okay, 2 left with my feet, 1-ish with my eye, so I was looking at 15. So for the sake of this video, and not confusing anybody, take some notes here. So I was at 20 with the Emerge and 22 with my feet with the Troublemaker. I guess a pro tip is to really keep track of that, especially if you're in tournaments and you're noticing that each lane is different. I always write my alignment down so that I don't get up there and think, oh, was I supposed to stand here? And then you waste a shot. So here we go with the surface. Look at all these pads here. I have used a couple of them, so they're not all like just once or twice. So they're not all like super, super fresh, which I guess would have been, I suppose, more accurate. Maybe I'll do some like fresh videos, but listen, I don't think most of us have like super fresh pads that we've never used before. most of us have used them at least once. Or if you haven't, then you should. Okay, here's the 14. And I had oil lines on here. They're already gone with just a couple smooth passes of a 4,000. The 4,000, even if it's shiny, it really shouldn't like knock the shine off of it. If anything, it should keep the shine, just make it slightly grittier. So you can see there's oil marks on there. I'm gonna make a little pass here with the 4,000. This one's kind of restoring the little bit of a grit it had on it. So see, no oil marks anymore, clearly. And then this isn't gonna create any dust, and at least it shouldn't. So, but I still will wipe it a little bit with the back side of the pad. And I will wipe it with my towel, wipe this one with my towel since I'm about to go. Same shot, 20 with my feet with the Emerge Hybrid. And good shot here. Hot dang, did you see that? That's awesome. That hooked just a teeny bit earlier and it continued. So I left a 4-pin. It didn't slow the response down. If anything, it allowed it to grit its teeth in, so to speak, and hook a little more. So let's try this one at the same alignment that I struck with. See if it does the same thing. Ooh, that did hook a little sooner, so it didn't get out as far, and it set up really nicely. It just allowed it to like go through the pins even just a little bit better. If I recall, it was like a later 10. I mean, I still struck with it. It was like a later 10, and that was like perfect 10 back. Sweet. I like it. For the sake of time, I'm gonna hit it with a 2,000 now. This one's pretty fresh. I don't think I've used it at all. This one that I have has a little bit more. I've used it a couple times. So this one I'm gonna use on both of them. And I'll actually hit the Troublemaker first. Just to try to maintain some sort of consistency with this. Of course, it's not ever gonna be perfect. I am not a ball manufacturer that has, you know, all this ability to maintain standard practices while doing testing and research, although I think USBC also does that. So there we go. All the oil lines are off. It's a little duller. It actually looks like what it did when I hit it with 2,000 back in competition, or before competition. So same thing with the Emerge. Just gonna scuff it up. Remember, if you're bowling a sanctioned league, which in all fairness, you really should continue to practice all of the standards that USBC and sanction set, but you have to scuff the whole entire ball. It's not fair to just like scuff a portion of it. Okay, so I'm gonna let my arms take a break. I only throw 14, but holy moly, that takes a lot of effort. Maybe I'll scuff it on the ball return next time instead of in my hands. Okay, I'll wipe it off. 2,000. It's starting to. You can start to see, it's a little less shiny. Still visibly pretty shiny with the 2,000. You're not going to start to see really dullness scuff until probably like 1,500, 1,000. All right, here we go. So same. Might as well do same shot. I might actually end up throwing 2 shots with each of these because it might not strike. Probably won't, considering, but you never know. I'm going to try not to make predictions. So I'm going to stand at 20 again. Same alignment with this ball. I'm looking at 14. that's a bad break. That would suck if that was in competition. It like was barely high and I left a 710. So I will move. I'm gonna make that 2 and 1 and see if that's the right move off of that. So I'll be exactly where I am with the troublemaker. Exactly where I was. 22, 15, 16. Okay. Ooh. That to me looked like it, I got it right because that was my intention, was the 2 and 1. So trajectory was a little further right and it was very smooth. Compared to if it doesn't have a little surface on it, it's going to be a little bit jerkier. So it blended quite nicely with the 2000. So let's try this one at 22. Odds are it's going to go high, but I'm not going to make a move yet because I really want to see what the 2000 on this ball did. Oh, wow. That set up so nice. Did not over respond. My thought is because it's symmetric. Symmetric bowling balls are typically smoother response compared to ASIM, and so the Emerge Hybrid is ASIM. Or it just really likes this pattern. But that's great. And that's so exactly what off the press, not really off the press. Anyway, out of the box, it's 500, 2000. That's what so I essentially restored it to what the box finish was. So we have to keep that in mind too. This ball's supposed to be a little smoother than the Emerge anyway. Okay, for the sake of time, let's do 1,000. And it looks like I've used this maybe once. Yeah, once or so. They're all still pretty gritty. I'm gonna do this on the ball return this time. So again, but circular motion. Just get that, get the oil lines first, and then I go across the fingers and the thumb. Ooh, here we go. Oh, look at this. Okay, and then I flip it over and get the dust off of it. I kind of like quarter turn spin. There we go. Quite less shine, quite dull. So that was 1,000. And I'll do the same thing with the troublemaker. So this one's gonna be also significantly more dull with 1,000. And I'm not like really leaning into it, but creating some dust. Here we go. All right, there it is. I'm gonna keep consistent with the Emerge Hybrid first, and then the troublemaker. So I got to 22 with this one, and it was 22, so they actually ended up being pretty equal, which is at 2,000 grit. So now with the 1,000, let's see what it does at that 22 with my feet. 16-ish with my eyes. Okay. Good shot. It did not get very far right. It's not because I didn't throw it there. It's because it picked up sooner and went high. Okay. So I like that, especially because if your ball isn't picking up soon enough and it's like close, hitting the surface, it's gonna be able to pick up sooner. So let's do 2 and 1. So I'll do 24 with my feet, 16, 17 with my eyes. Okay, good shot. So great. it definitely got through the oil quite nice, and I could see it just like start to pick up, turn the corner, and go straight through the pins properly for a perfect strike. Cool. So that means I am now 4 left, and I actually liked that with my eyes better than I did when it didn't have surface on it. Because it was a little like too clean sometimes, especially with the higher volume in the middle for house patterns. So here's the troublemaker. So I'm gonna write that down, 24 now. And then it was 22 with the emerge. Okay. So, and same thing, so now 22. I'm just gonna go back because it struck. It has struck the last 3 times at 22 with this. So with 1,000 grit, what will it do? Okay, good shot. It's like so bizarre, but amazing. I mean, great shot. Same shot. It just hooked a little sooner and hit high flush strike. So again, with the symmetric core and the lower differential of the troublemaker, it's blending quite well with a little bit more surface. Good to know. Okay, last one, 500. I'm not gonna go super far down into like 360 because that's just a lot, especially for a house pattern. I mean, is it really necessary? Now I wanna see, I had used this 500 before, so I'm trying to see if I have another one, and I do not. I've got lots of like 3,000, 4,000. So I've used this before. It's a used 500. Keep that in mind. And I'll do the emerge. So you can see oil lines, kind of dull. The scuffing really allows the ball to have more like divots, right? Which then allows the oil to get in there a little bit more. So you might even see more absorption with the scuffing, or at least that's my observation. So here we go. Scuffing to 500. And next, troublemaker. Creating some dust. Okay. And again, just gonna pick it up and get the dust off. Significantly duller. And you can really notice the emerge is duller because it came out of the box shiny, and I didn't have a lot of games on this. I only really did the review way back. So dull. Okay. Now I was at 24. I had to move with this. 24 with the emerge. Let's see, and it was a great shot with 1,000. So what's the difference between 1,000 and 500? 24. Wow, so smooth. You can see that it was like going. Gets the end of the pattern, rolls forward. Wrap 10. Well, for the sake of one shot, actually, you know what? I was just gonna try the troublemaker, but let me try this one and I'll go 2 more left and see if I can get it to blend a little bit more. Maybe see a little bit more oil this way. Is that what it needs? I'm not sure. Let's see. So 26 with my feet. I'm looking at 18. We'll see what I hit. Okay, I hit like 19. Oh, wow. I almost didn't expect it to pick up and turn the corner like that. A lot of the time on house patterns, if you get it too far in, just sails. I mean, I remember if it's like super volume you can miss in and like wash out, which is wild. So that's great. Ended on 26 with that one. Just with the more surface, it needed more oil. And I was still able to carry 6 boards left of where I started. Let's see this one. I'm gonna go back to 22 because that's where I've been striking with it. With 500, what is it gonna do? Is it actually gonna hook early and go high, or continue to blend? Continue to blend. So I was able to stay at 22 with the troublemaker at 4,000, 2,000, 1,000, and 500. And yet with the hybrid, or with the emerge hybrid, again, they're both hybrids. That's why surface matters so much on different bowling balls. For 2,000 or 4,000, 2,000, 1,500 on the emerge hybrid, I went from 20, and it sailed. I mean, you guys saw it. If not, go back and watch. But it was sailing through the oil, and then I ended at 26, striking each time. So that kind of forced me further left. Was still able to blend the house pattern, strike. So fun. Well, that's it for today. I hope that was super valuable and helpful for you to see the surface adjustments on these 2 bowling balls. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Let us know if there is anything within the brands of Brunswick you'd like to see compared or reviewed, because I think this is where we got this idea. If you have any other ideas like this, let us know, and don't forget to share it with your friends, and come back next week. Still striking.